Guest on the show today is the founder of Andy's Angels and Andy's Place, Mike Hirst. Hi, Mike.
Bart, how are you today?
Good to see you.
You don't have any of that Sylvia's catering left in the back room, do you?
We do, yes.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
meet back there after the show.
Please do join us for lunch after we're done our visit. So the holidays coming up, and I know that can be a time of additional stress for people in recovery.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they're worried about buying presents. They're worried about their family. Are they going to be accepted in the family this year? There's just all kinds of things going on. Look at yourself. That you know, you don't have too much going on in life. Still, Christmas is very hectic and stressful for everyone. So we try to make it as stress-free as possible over there. You know, my daughters and my wife, they get together and get a list and get presents around for everybody that's there. They're going to have a special Christmas party this year for just the kids that are near. I think there's 15 to 20 kids in there right now. So they're going to do cookie baking and ornament making, and Santa's going to show up, and we just want everybody to experience all the things in life that are right there in front of you. And
Well, all those families, it's amazing what Andy's Place provides for. How many now are in there?
Well, there's 50 units in there, and some have 2 units, so I don't know, there's probably 70 people in there right now, plus children.
We've had a chance to visit Andy's Place and meet a lot of the residents, and this past year there were a couple of times there was the dedication for the Chris Reisner basketball court, and then you had the car washes. The guys and ladies and gentlemen of Andy's Place had fundraisers so they could go on a summer outing.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with how serious and how dedicated the residents are to
Oh, absolutely.
recovering, living clean, and it seems like it's constant. It's got to be constantly on their mind.
For sure it is, absolutely. It's a lifelong battle, actually, but you know, you can make it work, that's for sure. But environment's the key, and that's what we have at Andy's Place. We have a nice, clean, safe environment, alcohol-free, drug-free environment. Obviously, you know, we've caught people in there, you know, that try to bend that rule. And that rule isn't to punish anybody. And if somebody wants to go down that road again in their life, I'm not judging them for it. I'm just letting them know you can't live here. We have other people that we're worried about their health and safety, and that comes first.
And the addiction is so strong that it's common that people take more than once to get recovered.
Oh gosh, I know people 20 times they've been to rehab. So yeah, some people get on the first time. That's a very small margin. You know, what we kind of like about the drug court, of course nobody likes going to jail and getting caught up in the legal system, but it's a life or death matter for someone. They're lucky if they're arrested and put in jail and get into the drug court, because then they have an opportunity to live again. And that's what we're shooting for all the time. Is, you know, I always say if they're still breathing, there's still a chance we can make them right again. And showing some great success at Andy's Place. I mean, just the people there are so committed that when somebody does relapse and screw up, the rest of the people want them out of there. I mean, they're
So you knew this was going to work even before it was built. So we've had some time go by where you are able to gauge what, you know, the level of success. So how do you feel? How successful is it?
extremely successful. You have to talk to the people over there, you know, and say, well, I'm sure Mike Hirst is going to say so. But really, you want to talk to residents there, you'll see how successful it is. There's people over there that they'll tell you today, I wouldn't even be alive today if it wasn't for this place. This is the longest I've ever been sober since I can remember, you know. Just stories like that and what they're doing. The car wash, I mean, they're raising their own money now. They say, we want to do it ourselves. And when we start getting people to the point in life where they want to take care of themselves, they want to be self-sufficient, they want to do what's right, you know you're making some real progress.
Well, I know other companies, other communities like Kalamazoo, Midland, and others have come here to check out, and they've created their own Andy's Place neighborhoods. But now that there's a track record of success, I would imagine that it's going to be, we're going to see them pop up.
Yeah,
all
you know, everybody's waiting, you know, everybody's waiting
Yeah.
to see what's going to happen at Andy's place, but before they pull the trigger. But, you know, Southfield is super excited, Kalamazoo's excited. Midland, we may have to move that location closer to Saginaw. There's a little pushback from the people, not in my backyard type situation, the mayor especially. You know, they don't know what they're missing there. They're really short-sighted in their thinking process, but everybody else wants it in the worst way. So there'll also be someone else's gain in that area.
Well, I know where it's located, it's near some where Andy's place is located is a couple blocks from some apartment communities, but it's also close by to employers. And there are people who live at Andy's place that get to walk to work across the street.
Absolutely, you know, they can walk. You know, there's plenty of places they can walk to, but also the Jackson Transit Authority has provided, well, through True Community Credit Union, they partnered up and provided bus tickets. So if somebody who has to get to work, they got to get a bus. They got a free ticket to get on. So once again, the community stepping up, the people within the community to make this thing work, and that's what we really need.
Yeah, it's phase 2 about to begin. I believe there's a construction trailer on the site. You are going to add more units.
Yep, construction trailer is set. We're just waiting for some tax credits to finish being sold. But we're ready to go. Bids are in. We're just ready to roll right now. But due to the weather, we'll see if it happens this fall. If the weather moves in, we'll wait till spring. So we got a good solid foundation.
There's snow showers in the forecast next week, so better get that shovel in there before it freezes.
I've been in this business 50 years, and every winter it's the same thing. Oh, what are we going to do this winter? Oh, it's going to be cold. Oh, we can't break ground yet. You kind of roll with it after a while.
But actually, the construction season, it's longer in Michigan.
Yeah, you know, we've had a couple of years. We were right straight through. We didn't have any problems with ground conditions or anything. So.
All right, Andy's Angels has an annual fundraiser. Have you set the date for the next one?
Well, it's going to be one of the weekends in April. We haven't picked exactly which one. It'll be our 10th year, so we're going to have a big event. We hope everybody shows up, and you know, this will be a celebration. You know, we've talked a lot at the events, and a lot of it's, you know, not a very good conversation to have. It's kind of a depressing conversation, but we had to get the reality and the truth out there so everybody knew what we were talking about. And this year, with what the people of this community have done by supporting Andy's Angels, is just phenomenal. And you know, it's going to be a celebration next spring. We want it to be a happy event. We want to show people what some of these people that never thought they'd be alive today and what they're doing today. And it's totally amazing. You see them with their kids, where they hadn't been with their kids in any holidays for a long time, and they're with their kids. They're celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all the things that, you know, you and I grew up with and had a tremendous opportunity to enjoy as young kids. Now those kids are getting that opportunity, and the parents are also getting that opportunity to share that experience with their kids.
That was interesting. Last week, President Biden, in his meeting with President Xi or Chairman Xi or whatever he is, China's leader, fentanyl was one of the big topics of discussion. And I can't remember that ever coming up, you know, in an international conversation between world leaders. But it's become such a serious problem, and the import of illegal drugs like fentanyl into the United States from China, it's killing people every day.
Exactly. I was talking about that connection 10 years ago, and nobody seemed to want to talk about it. But I had been talking to the DEA, and they were telling me all about it at the time, but it just, you couldn't get any traction. Today, fentanyl's in anything you buy. If you buy something on the street, good chance fentanyl's in it. I don't care if you're buying pot on the street, there's a good chance fentanyl's in it. The pills that you buy that look like regular oxycodone, it looks like Vicodin, it looks like Percocet, it looks like Xanax, you know, most of those are counterfeit that you're buying on the street, and 1 out of 3 of them contains fentanyl. They're just made by the drug dealers, and they put a cutter and some fentanyl in it and call it an Oxycontin and give it to you. So 1 out of 3 of those drugs on the street right now, 1 out of 3 pills that you buy on the street is going to have fentanyl in it, and it's deadly.
It can kill you, and you wonder why are drug dealers cutting something that is being sold as Oxycontin what is the benefit?
Well, they actually make a lot more money. You know, if you take a kilo of heroin and you want to mix a little fentanyl with it, now all of a sudden you got 3 kilos of heroin, high-grade heroin. And it's really cheap. So it's all about the money. They could care less whether you live or die. These are the lowest life people of all that engage in this business. And like I said, they're all interested in about the money. It's your problem if you die.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. The odds are the user, the victim of the dealer, is the one that's going to end up in legal trouble. And for some reason, the drug dealers, they're on the street. They stay free. They stay outside of the reach of law.
Yeah, they're pretty good at insulating themselves. You know, they're not going to have too much on them that's going to send them to prison for a long time. That's going to be kept in a separate spot, and then you're going to give small amounts in these trap houses and to people on the street that are selling it. So if somebody gets caught, they're only caught with a small amount any particular time. It's really a sad way to make a living. It's really destroyed many communities, and look at how many deaths it's created. So, you know, for young kids out there that think, I'm going to start selling drugs because that's a way to make some easy money. I want you to understand the death and devastation that you are putting on within your community by going down that route and being one of those salesmen.
Do you think the legalization of marijuana has contributed to the use of more dangerous?
You know, I don't know. The jury's out on that, Bart, and you know, I don't know whether it is or isn't. I know plenty of people. When this whole thing started, they had smoked pot most of their life. They never went to any other drugs. There's no medical connection between the two, like as opposed to a Vicodin and a heroin addict. That's the same drug. So obviously they're taking a pill and pretty soon you're shooting heroin. But not with marijuana. But it sets a bad example. Most of the kids now, you know, I talk to a lot of kids in school and they don't want to hear about it. You know, they don't want to hear about the pot. That's legal, Mike. You don't need to talk about us. That's legal. Well, you know, it is legal. It's legal for somebody over 21. But the thing that they're not understanding is when they're 18 years old, they get out of high school and they come and sit in my office and say, man, I really like to have an apprenticeship. And I'd look at them and I talk to them a little bit. I said, boy, you know what? You're perfect for this company and you have all these qualifications. I really want to hire you. And you're sitting on the other side of the table thinking, oh my God, I've got this apprenticeship. I'm right out of high school. But the next thing I'm going to say to you is, you can start Monday, but you got to take a drug test first. You know, I've had many people look at me and go, what do you mean I got to take a drug test? Well, you got to take a drug test. You know, they say, well, it's legal. I said, I don't care if it's legal or not. We're on a construction site. You know, it's no different than drinking on a construction site. You know, you can't have it in your system, period, on a construction site, or you know, there's a huge liability for all your workers around you if you make a mistake. There's a huge liability for your employer, and you know, it's just not going to work. And so they have to think about that a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's legal. It's about your career. Are you going to have a career or not have a career?
All right. Always great to see you. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Bart. Appreciate it.
We'll keep you informed as to the next fundraiser sometime in April. When we have the date, we'll pass it along. Thanks to Mike Hirst. Up next here on JT